Hi everyone and welcome to another text effect tutorial in Adobe Illustrator. In this tutorial, I am going to demonstrate how you can create a glitch text effect. So create a new file, go to File menu and click on New and you will get this new document window. I am going to select Web 800 by 600 pixel. If you don't find it here, you can go to Web and search from here. I'm going to go back to Recent and select this one, and other settings are fine. Just click on Create to get a blank canvas. Now before add any text, I'm going to add a background here. So let's go to rectangle tool from your toolbar and click from this corner to the end of this canvas, the bottom corner, to create a rectangle. Make sure the size is 800 by 600 pixels, same as the canvas size, and go to stroke and click on this first one which says none to disable the stroke. And for fill color, I'm gonna go for black. Okay, you can always come here, swatches, and use black from here also. And I'm going to lock this object, so I'm going to go to object and click on lock selection to lock this background so we don't move it accidentally while we are creating the glitch effect. Select type tool from the toolbar to add the text and click on the canvas once, and I'm going to type glitch in all caps. We don't see it right now because it's black, so I'm going to go to appearance and change its color to white and change the font size to 144 so we can see it properly. And for font style, I'm going to select Anton, which is a bold and clear font so I can see the effect properly. You can select any other font if you like, doesn't really matter. But before I create the glitch effect, I need to convert this text to outline. So you can come here and click on create outlines, and if you don't see it here, you can always go to type and just find create outlines and click on this option, and it will convert it into outlines, which are basically shapes you can edit. Alright, let's align it to center. Again, if you don't find align panel here, you can always go to window and click on align to get this align panel. Now to create the effect, I'm going to add some rectangle here. So click on this rectangle and draw on your canvas. I'm going to change the height to 10. Width doesn't matter really because we are going to remove them anyways. Let's zoom in using Alt and scroll from your mouse, and I'm going to move it somewhere here. Create another copy, so press Alt and drag to create a copy. You can change the height, let's say 20, and move it here somewhere. You can add more rectangle and shapes if you want to make it more complex, but I'm okay with this. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to select all of them, and if you see them properly, you can see these outlines, blue outlines, which are highlighting the intersecting and overlapped parts. So right now these are only 3 individual objects. If you move them and check them, these are only 3 objects. But once you go to Pathfinder, so go to window and click on Pathfinder, and in Pathfinder we are going to use divide. Once you click on divide, it will separate all overlapped and intersecting areas. Let me show you what I'm saying. So click on divide and now it's a group, but if you right click on it and click on ungroup, you can select and move these individual objects. Now let's delete these extra parts. So select them and delete them. Alright, select them manually. Delete all these extra parts because we don't need them. You can again double check by going to view and click on outline, and you can double check if there is an extra parts you have left behind. So this one is an extra part, so I'm gonna delete this. Select this one and delete this one, delete, select this one. Delete all the extra parts because we don't need them and later it will cause problems, so select and delete them. Finally for H, and I think it's looking clear now. Go back to view and click on GPU preview. Now let's offset this part, let's change their position. I'm going to come here just little over the middle of this alphabets. Select these parts, you can press shift and select these parts, or you can click and drag to select all of them. Okay, now use right arrow key from your keyboard once and twice to move them. I'm gonna come here and similarly I'm going to select these parts and move them to the left side this time. Alright, so the glitch effect is ready. You can make it more complex. You can move this bottom section and the middle section if you like, but I'm happy with this honestly. So select all of them, right click and create a group, align them to center, And now let's create the offset effect using different colors. So I'm going to create a copy of this, select and press Alt and drag to create a copy. But if you want to move it simultaneously in a single axis, you can press Alt and Shift together and drag to create a copy and move it, basically lock it in a single axis. Right now I am moving it in X axis. I can move it in Y axis and it will lock its position. Alright, let's move it into X axis and change its color to this magenta. I'm gonna go to color mixer and change its color from here. Let's add red a little bit. Let's make it a little green and let's move it to the blue side, which will make it more red. It's looking fine. Right click on this and go to arrange and bring it to backward. Just click on send backward so it will go to the back side. And I'm going to create one more copy of this. So press Alt, Shift and drag to the left side this time. Go to fill and change its color to cyan. Again, I'm going to change the shade a little bit, so let's move it to the blue side and to the green side a little. You can play with it, and I'm going to move it to the right side a bit using my arrow keys from keyboard and select this magenta one and move it to the left side. So the glitch effect is ready. I'm going to select all of them, create a group and align them to center. But to make it more complex, I'm going to add a rectangle here, a small tiny rectangle. To add a glitch effect, keep it here, create another copy and move it near T. Let's change its position and zoom and change its width also, so they will look more uneven. And create another copy, change its position, reduce the width. Let's create one more copy for L and I'm going to scale the width. Yeah, it's looking fine. I'm going to create one more copy of this and move it to the edge of G and go to your color picker. Click on this cyan color and it will change the color of this rectangle also. Scale it down, create another copy, move it here, zoom in and reduce the width again. Create another copy, change the position, zoom in and increase the width this time. Let's add one more for C. Click and drag here, move it here. Now they are looking much better. Again, select all of them, create a group and align them to center. So the text effect is ready. We can also edit the background. So I'm gonna go to object and click on unlock them. Now you can select your background. And for background, I'm going to create some gradient. And for that, I'm gonna go to window, click on gradient to get this panel. And inside this gradient panel, I'm going to select this freeform gradient. So click on it once and it will change the color, and you can see there are 4 different points. You can select and double click this point and change its color. I'm gonna go for black, double click on this and change its color to black, similarly black, and finally this one black. Now you can add some extra points also. So if you come here, you can come anywhere and you can add an extra point by clicking on canvas. So I'm gonna click here near L and add a point, double click on this and change its color to this violet dark shade. Again, one more point near C and change its color to purple shade. And you can also change their influence by clicking on this and click on this circle and drag to increase their influence or reduce the influence. I want to reduce the influence from here, so I'm gonna create another point here and change its color to black just to make it little more subtle. Create another point, create points on bottom also to reduce their influence, and now they are looking fine. You can add a point here also in sides if you want to reduce their influence, and change the position also. You can play with the position anytime just to reduce their influence or increase the influence any way you want. And if you add any point accidentally, you can always click on it and just click on this delete button. If you want to edit the background, you can click on it and click on this edit gradient button, and you can see all your points and their position. You can always come here and change them. Alright, this is it for this lesson. I hope you learned something new from it, and I will see you in the next one. Thank you.